What precisely is a speleothem? Now, this is one of these kind of enigmatic, complicated words which pops up in geology from time to time, which confuses people, but it shouldn't, because it's essentially an umbrella term for various words within geology that even most children are going to be vaguely familiar with. Things like stalactites, things like stalagmites. These are speleothem, which etymologically essentially means, from Greek, that which dwells in a cave. It's essentially a cave formation, generally sort of limestone formations or formations within sort of subterranean limestone caves. Now, when we talk about things like stalactites and stalagmites, when you want to remember the difference, there are various mechanisms that people use to remember. My personal preference is with stalagmites. It's got a very discernible G in the word. I use that to think of ground, so rising up from the ground. Whereas stalactites has two T's, which I use to remember that it comes from the top to the bottom. So a stalactite comes from the ceiling of a cave and then comes down, descends down, whereas a stalagmite, in contrast, rises up from the base. Now, this happens generally because things like rainwater, this basically moves its way through soil and through rock above this subterranean limestone cave. And then as it's drifting through this soil and then ultimately this rock, it picks up calcium carbonate. So by the time it reaches these caves, it's no longer really water in the purest sense. It is a solution, usually accruing things like calcium carbonate. So the materials which generally accumulate as a result of sort of decaying organic matter, things like calcite, things like aragonite. So as this drips down into the cave slowly, it creates this sort of deposition over very long periods of time. As this water slowly drips, it deposits this calcium carbonate, which might start as aragonite, which is sort of a metastable polymorph of calcite, but can just turn directly into calcite. Calcite being the more stable of the two. It very much depends on the conditions within the particular cave. It can start as aragonite or it can start as calcite, but it generally always ends up as calcite because calcite is the more stable of the two. So stalactites and stalagmites are generally comprised of calcite. So as they drip from the ceiling, it slowly deposits this calcium carbonate, which creates these elongated stalactites. The same thing happens from the base upwards. So when we get a stalagmite, for example, the base tends to be wider, and this is largely because water splashes. As it splashes, it creates a broader base, creating that stalagmite, which can connect in the center. So a stalactite and a stalagmite can connect centrally, calling or basically manifesting as what we refer to as a column. So when you've got one monolithic column, this is referred to as a column. When it descends from the ceiling, we have a stalactite. Remember, use the T. And when it ascends from the base, it's a stalagmite. So from the ground, remember, because it has the G.